Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to get started right away. Welcome to our third Jülcast of our summer series. This is the webcast series featuring 15-minute webinars by experts at Jül Creative. And we're going to be focusing on digital marketing. Today's primary focus will be sales enablement. So a few administrative duties before we get started. If you are not already, please make sure you mute your microphone. And second, we are so excited to have you on today. We hope that you join us again. And if you're unfamiliar with any of the terms that we're using, please let us know. We aim to make these as educational as possible. There's a chat pane available in the video screen for any questions. And you can also tweet at us at Jül Creative or use the hashtag #LearnWithJül. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jenna. I'm an inbound specialist at Jül Creative, and I've been completely captivated by the inbound marketing methodology now for several years. I absolutely love watching businesses adapt and excel using the inbound methodology at Jül, and I take a special interest in the SMARketing, which is sales and marketing alignment, along with sales enablement, and that's why today's webcast is going to be very, very fun for me. So we're going to be discussing what sales enablement is, the 6 areas of sales enablement, best practices, the technologies that we use to implement this, and then next steps. So let's go ahead and get started right away by asking, what is sales enablement? It's a strategic, ongoing process that is designed to help prepare and support the salespeople. So it's a team sport. Sales are working together with support from marketing rather than something that marketing is doing for sales. And the goal is to increase the sales productivity by supporting the representatives with the content, the training, the analytics they need to have a more successful sales conversation. So we're going to get into the 6 areas that make up sales enablement. Their process, buyers, the information, timing, place, and format. These all have to align to create a good experience for a prospect or a buyer. So sales typically struggles to get the right information into the hands of the right buyers at the right time and place and in the right format to move a sales opportunity forward. So there's no cut and dry process for every single sales call. Each prospect is going to be very different. So it's important to understand the prospect and give them a personalized and helpful experience. So let's start by understanding the buyer. We use buyer personas, which is a semi-fictional representation of your ideal customers. And typically, a company is going to have anywhere from 4 to 8 different buyer personas. This is going to help you segment your leads and organize a personalized experience. So what we want to take into account when we're looking at buyer personas is someone's personal background. You know, are they married? Do they have kids? What's their educational background? What is their job specifically? What does their role entail? What industry are they in? How many employees do they work with or, have coworkers? And what are their goals and challenges within their company, but then also with you? How can you overcome some of these challenges? It's important to know this so you can position content appropriately. So here's the information. The most common complaint made by 65% of sales reps and teams is that they can't find the content and information to send to prospects. This is where sales and marketing really have to be aligned. So you want to know, what are the typical questions that sales are receiving during their process for each type of buyer persona. These questions should be the foundation of the content that marketing is producing. So some of the questions, as an example, that I get a lot are, how do we become industry leaders? What is a typical timeline before we see increased conversion or traffic on our site? What is the ROI of inbound marketing? Now, I take these questions and I give them to marketing, that these are the top questions I'm getting for my marketing married buyer persona. They're going to take those and produce different checklists and ebooks around them and produce blog posts around them to educate the buyer personas on the questions that they're asking. So timing. Once sales receives a sales qualified lead from marketing, how quickly and how many times do you reach out before giving up on a lead, and in what time frame? Every company is going to be different, and they're going to have a different policy on how sales should reach out to prospects, but it should be well defined. And it's important to understand that sales needs to accommodate the prospect. So for me, we have a lead scoring system. This means that every lead coming onto our site will get a score. The more they come back to our site or fill out forms, maybe read a blog post, they're going to receive a higher score. And we're going to track what stage they are in their buyer's journey. Are they in awareness, which is just educational? Are they considering, which means they have a short list of companies that they're evaluating, or decision? Are they picking from that short list? So once they reach a certain benchmark for me on a lead score, which is 75 for Jewel, then it becomes a sales qualified lead, meaning they have transitioned from the educational stage or the awareness to now a consideration or decision stage. So now it's an appropriate time for me to reach out. Once they hit that lead score on our site, I immediately follow up because I know they're thinking about inbound now. They're researching right now, so I know I can apply my knowledge and help them. I don't want to catch them when they're in a meeting or when it's not top of mind. It won't be important right then. So my rule is that I'm going to contact a lead within 5 minutes of being in SQL. And we're going to talk a little bit more in Sales Enablement about creating goals with sales and marketing. So that's one of my goals. And then I continue to reach out at least 6 to 8 times before I add them to a workflow to continue to be educated. So if they don't respond back to me, I know that they're still being educated. I misjudged. So I put them in a workflow, allow them to be educated before they move on in the process. Now, place. What channels do each of your prospects respond best to, and how should you be reaching out to them and sending them information? So, for example, if they don't answer your calls or emails, could you send them a helpful article or a blog post or something on Twitter or Facebook? You have to understand what channels they are frequently using and interacting with. So for manufacturers, you should know that the primary social media channels your prospects are on is YouTube and LinkedIn, and you should be able to leverage this. And then finally, format. You need to understand how your prospects are best retaining information that you're providing them. Do they prefer interactive ROI-based spreadsheets versus ebooks? Are some of your personas more drawn to checklists, or are blogs the best way to inform them? You need to understand how they're best going to retain that information. Now we're into the best practices. So we understand that the areas that sales needs to dial in on to move a prospect along, and marketing plays a large role in producing the content to make this successful. So this entire process requires sales and marketing to be aligned and concentrate on improving to best help the buyers. The first best practice we're going to talk about is closed loop reporting, which ensures that there's a proper feedback loop set up between the sales and the marketing team. Closed loop reporting allows marketing to pass more intel over to sales and get better feedback in return. It's going to have a more positive effect on the marketing and sales ROI. So benefits for marketing: you're going to get up-to-date contact information and status updates. You're going to learn which marketing programs are working and which are not working. You're going to increase your marketing ROI. And then for sales, the benefits are that you're going to deduplicate leads, you're going to help prioritize your leads, you're going to make warmer calls and outreaches to prospects, and you're going to increase your close rate and sales ROI. So the closed loop reporting, there's many benefits, and it's going to allow you to analyze your marketing sources. So where are leads coming from? Are they organic, social? Are they coming from referrals? You're going to be able to provide a timeline of all the interactions a contact took prior to becoming a MQL or a customer. You're going to understand the conversion rates and how they affect individual pieces of content you create and contribute to closing a customer. And then you're going to pass the information to sales that can help aid them in contacting, connecting, and engaging with the contacts within the first 24 hours, and send automatic updates to your sales team with the leads when they revisit the website or take other key actions to make sure they're following up at the best times possible. So how do we allow marketing to see how effective the sales process is? A major component is the technology. And this is an example of a CRM called HubSpot. And this is an individual contact record of a lead that pulls every interaction this lead she has had with us and that sales has had with her. So this includes pages that they've viewed on our website and emails she's opened, but it also includes things like videos she's viewed and times she's mentioned us or a competitor or a keyword that we care about on Twitter. So marketing can see what content she's responded best to and how sales is following up, so we understand the process that the sales is using, the buyer persona and how she's interacting with the content, information sales is giving her, timing of sales follow-up and how many times a sales rep reaches out, the place or channel that the sales is reaching out in and how effective it is, and then the format of the content that's being provided. So all 6 of those essential parts of sales enablement. Our next best practice is establishing an SLA agreement. An SLA defines what each team commits to accomplishing in order to support the other in reaching the shared revenue goal. So it's a formal commitment between sales and marketing. And it's a two-way process. Marketing is committing to delivering a certain quantity and quality of leads to help the sales team meet its quota, and sales is commits to following up on those leads in a timely manner and to make a specific number of contact attempts before abandoning the lead. An SLA crystallizes the alignment around goals. There's no question, there's no second guessing. Once there's an agreement, both teams can work with passion and purpose to meet and surpass these well-defined goals. So if you want to discuss how to create an SLA or the different metrics you can use, please feel free to reach out to me. Sam, go ahead and throw my email address in the chat pane. It's Jenna@JewelCreative, and I'd love to help share some of the metrics that you can use and the ways that you can define a service level agreement. There are issues implementing sales enablement, and 25% of companies said that it didn't work and it wasn't effective because it was poorly or very poorly understood within the company. So what we can take away from that is that you must have well-defined goals and a very strategic approach to make this work. 75% of companies, however, reported that it made a moderate or a significant difference in their company. And 88% of the companies that were successful said it was because they were very strategic, not operationally based. All right, it is Q&A time. Please shoot any questions. We did get a couple throughout the webinar. The first, let's see. Do many of your prospects or customers buy lists for the sales team, and how successful are they? No, we do not buy lists or encourage our clients to buy lists for the sales team. The reason why is that they're highly ineffective, and the best way to get people interested is not to bombard them with information they're not looking for, but to attract them to your site. So I would love to speak with this person about attracting people and how you can increase that traffic on your website and then use conversion to bring about the sales enablement process. The next question, how frequently do the marketing and sales teams need to meet for good sales enablement? Good question. It really varies depending on the company's size, industry, a lot of different things. Again, I can talk more towards this if I know who this is for. but we meet at Jül bi-weekly with the sales and marketing teams for about a half hour to an hour. We already have well-defined goals, so we discuss if the goals were met, and if not, why, and what we can do to improve. It looks like that was all the questions. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We will have another Jülcast in September. So have a good day, everyone.